Okay, this game called Killing Time came out for the 3DO, made by Studio 3DO in 1995. Um, really more of just a tech demo. They wanted to bring the first-person shooter game kind of into the CD-ROM world. These a lot of animation, a lot of kind of digitized characters. Basically, there's a lot of video clips that are used as sprites with like transparent backgrounds as an effect in the 3D engine. Looks rather interesting, but I'm not really a fan of this game. I find it way too hard. The levels are just too big. The map sucks. I never know where to go or what to do, and so really I don't really like this game. But it does a good job of showing off the 3DO's capabilities. It's still worth checking out, so here you go.
I'm off the rocky coast of Maine, heading toward the island of Matinicus, alone. My Egyptology professor, Dr. Hargrove, was always recounting his trips to northern Africa in the 1930s and his search for a mystical water clock from the dynasty of the pharaoh Ramses. The clock supposedly had powers to grant everlasting life. Claimed he found it once, but whatever Hargrove found mysteriously disappeared after a visit by the expedition's patron, Tess Conway. I've picked up the trail where Hargrove left off. It has led me to heiress Tess Conway's island estate. Tess was obsessed with the occult. Her greed drew her toward Duncan DeVries, the debonair two-bit smuggler. In its heyday, the Conway estate hosted wild, extravagant parties. It has been deserted for decades. Tess and her society friends disappeared in 1932 on the night of the summer solstice. I'm just getting my first glimpse of the house. The weather's getting worse, but I'm almost ashore. I fear my life may be in danger, but I have come prepared. That's strange. My watch has stopped.
So here's the title screen. No big deal. Typical title screen. Here's how you start. Typical first-person shooter controls. There's not a lot of guns in this game. There's only about 5 guns, you know, compared to something like Doom, I guess isn't a lot, but here's an example of the full motion video that's used, like I said, as sprites. So it's in the 3D engine and you can move around it, but it's like pre-recorded video, and these kind of ghost characters kind of show throughout the game. So anyways, this first level really sucks. The only thing that you fight is these like hunters. And you can step on ducks and they splat. That's the only funny thing. Nice thing about the 3DO and you know, all of the first gen really CD-ROM based systems like the Sega CD. There's no copy protection in them. I mean, back then the thought of a home user being able to, you know, burn CDs would be just outrageous, so these early systems don't have any form of copy protection in them. You can download these ISOs, burn them, and play them. Unfortunately, I ran out of blank CDs, and I wasn't about to go buy some just to play this game, which, like I said, I don't really like that much anyways, so I am doing this on an emulator. That is why the sound is a little crackly. Also, the controls are a little bit on the laggy side, especially when I'm recording with fraps, which obviously I'm doing right now. But I figured it was good enough to show you. And that's really all I wanted to do with this game. Was, it's really just worth showing off for what it does technically on the 3DO. I mean, it was a good looking game. Kind of sold itself, this game, back in the day. Just by the screenshots, everybody kind of wanted it. Well, they wanted to rent it because most people couldn't actually afford a 3DO. You find a lot of stuff like that where you just kind of activate it, and I don't even know what the point it is. Like I said, this game to me I just don't know what to do in this game, so, you know, I never really did get into it. And here's, of course, another example of the video. Basically just kind of helps the storyline in the game, but it's kind of neat that, like I said, the video is like an actual sprite within the 3D world.
You have gathered together enough of my spirit so that I can communicate what we must hurry.
So that's kind of what I meant by bringing the first-person shooter into the CD-ROM era. Or it's kind of mixing a typical 3D engine and mixing in, you know, full-motion video in the game. And like I said, it was a neat idea.
32 pillars that shine when you lift the roof.
So there's another ghost, and she's almost giving you a hint towards something, but like I said, I haven't really gotten far enough in this game to know what's going on at any given time. Here's a good example of the graphics. I mean, these are pretty impressive graphics for, you know, once again, the 3DO was a pretty impressive system for the time. And, you know, this was a pretty impressive game for the time, so. Can get dual pistols, but I can't seem to find anyone with pistols in this damn game. And then there's the shotgun, there's the Tommy gun. I think there's a flamethrower. That's really about it. I guess there's really only 4 guns in the game. And then the dual pistols. Kinda neat when you have the dual pistols, but unfortunately I couldn't find any while recording this. Now here's some, oh, never mind, these are the hunters still. Here they are. Some really weird clown enemies. There's just a lot of weird enemies in this game. The clowns that reach out. Another good area to show off, technically. It's really good looking graphics for the time, like I said. In these parts it does get even laggier in the emulator. The sound's really choppy here, if you can tell. And these ghosts just punch you with their giant fists. More weird enemies, like I said. But anyways, I'm running out of time. Like I said, not a big fan of this game, but it's a game that I wanted to show you guys more than anything, so there you go.